A lot of people are afraid to be alone. I understand. Loneliness is a bitch. But it also makes you fortified against what's coming. In other words, you get to know your best friend, which should be you. Ciao.
All right, now let's walk. One of the things that really called my attention was preparation. He told us, you know, when I'm getting ready for a movie, I stay away from distractions. I kind of isolate myself from distractions and I get prepared. I study what I need to present. This is something we need to keep in mind. Hello, my friend, how are you? How are you feeling today? Good to see you here. Today, we're going to study listening and speaking. How to negotiate meaning. How to give your opinions. How to deal. How to express yourself. How to use idioms to express your ideas. How to use metaphors to explain what you want to say. In other words, this class is about negotiation. This class is about how to get what you want with the minimum effort. How to get what you want without having trouble. Sometimes we want to get from point A to point B and we succeed. But during this journey, we break things, we fight with people, we generate animosities. No. This class is about getting what you want without friction. Getting what you want while you have fun, while you enjoy the process. Okay? And to talk about negotiation, I brought the best in the world to share with you. FBI negotiators. This book written by Chris Voss, the best negotiator that has ever sat on FBI's chair. And he wrote this book here. Deal as if your life depended on it. An ex-FBI agent reveals the techniques to convince people. Here we go. I like to share the best with you. I like to bring the best names of each topic. So then you will have the best in your hands. Humans have aversion to loss. This loss aversion shows statistically that people are more open to act to avoid a loss than they are to reach a gain. He's telling us we human beings hate to lose. If we see that we can lose something, we fight harder than we would when we saw opportunities. Do you understand? We have aversion to loss. We don't want to lose anything. This loss aversion comes from our animal mind, which is fast, instinctive, and emotional. This system has more influence. Actually, this system guides and directs our rational thoughts. We all want to be understood and accepted. Listening is the cheapest concession, but it's the most effective. Please, my friend, remember this. Listening is the cheapest concession, but it's the most effective. I know you want to talk. I know you want to deal, to negotiate, but please listen. Listen to people. Stop and listen to them. I know you want to talk. I know you want to express your ideas. But first, listen. By listening with attention, you demonstrate empathy and a sincere desire to understand better the other side. When people feel that they are heard, they tend to listen to themselves more attentively. And they evaluate openly their thoughts and feelings. They try to reach clarity. And they get less defensive. And they are more open to consider other points of view, which takes them to a calm position. And then they can contribute for the problem solving. Differently from the popular opinion, listening is not a passive activity, but it's the most active attitude someone can adopt. What is this FBI agent telling us? He's saying, hey, when people feel that they are heard, they are more open to listen to your ideas. When you listen to other people and they realize that you are listening to them, they will be open to hear your ideas. There is this idea of reciprocity when we interact with others. Life is negotiation. Most of the interactions we have at work and at home are negotiations that summarize in a simple animal sentence. I want it. Negotiation, as you will learn here, is communication with results. Obtaining what you want in life means obtaining what you want from other people and with other people. Negotiation doesn't mean oppress people. It means getting to the emotional game that guides human society. In this world, you receive what you ask. You just need to ask correctly. The Bible mentions it. The Bible mentions it. There is one part in Matthew's. I wish I had more knowledge of the Bible to get the part where he says, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. This FBI agent who deals with criminals, he's saying exactly the same thing. In this world, you receive what you ask, but you need to ask correctly. You need to connect better with other people. So then you can influence them and go beyond. Make the ones you were talking to feel understood and comfortable in a negotiation. Create a respectful atmosphere. Leave your ego behind. Negotiate in the world of the person you were talking to. This is the only way to get to a deal that the other person will accomplish. What is he saying? We need to understand the other person's world, universe, galaxy. Sometimes we live in different worlds. I was telling my wife this week, we were in this scam of buying an airline ticket online. It was a scam. And then she was very furious. And I said, love, you don't speak this person's language. This person lives in a different world. Don't even try to communicate with this person. He is saying, if you want to deal with someone, you need to understand this person's world, this person's vocabulary, this person's ideas, thoughts. So then you can connect with the person and get to the deal. Here, he's talking about the importance of listening carefully. He's saying, we all have a voice in our minds, and this voice is talking all the time. But there is an effective way to silence this voice in our minds. Instead of prioritizing your argument, actually, instead of thinking of anything you will say, transform the other person and what the other person is saying to your only focus. This way of active listening will make that person open to talk about his or her ideas and to feel safe. People need to feel safe enough to talk and talk and talk until they say openly what they want. We start by listening. We start by giving the credit to the other person. We start by validating the other person's emotions. We start by setting the trust, the safety enough to start a real conversation. Sometimes we are on a hurry. We want to hurry up. Please, tell me, fast. We all know what this hurry up ends up making. If we want to really connect with people, we need to stop and listen to them. Okay, let me have some water, my friend. This is yours. This is mine. Cheers, my friend. Please drink your water after class, okay? Hydrate yourself. Let's warm up. Move your body. Move your arms, your shoulders. Move your legs. Move your feet. Move your neck. Oh, my neck's cracking. Up and down. Up and down. To the left and to the right. Left and right. Now open and close your hands. Open, close. Open, close. Open, close. Yes. Okay. We're going to exercise the center of our chest. We're going to press our hands like this. Okay, press your hands against each other and push forward and pull back. Push forward and pull back. Let's go. Stable position, please. Like this, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now, as if we're picking something from the floor. Okay? Like this. You're going to get something from the floor. 1, 2. Let's do it together. Come on. 3, 4, 5, 6. Touch the floor with your finger. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now let's stretch. We stretch up. Stretch up, please. 1, 2, 3. Count for us, please. You continue. Count for us, please. Okay. Now, as always, we open our arms. Open your arms. Look up. 10, 9, 8. Squeeze your back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Let me have some water. Let's breathe. We're going to breathe in 2 times, like this. Then we hold and we breathe out. When we breathe in new energy. We breathe in pure energy to clean our thoughts, our feelings. And then we breathe out the loads we don't need to carry. We breathe out the grudges. We breathe out the worries. Sometimes we anticipate worries. Oh, next week I'm going to be, and then we only think about negative forecasts. Come on, let's not do this. Okay? When we breathe out, when we breathe out, we relax the muscles of our face. We relax our shoulders. We relax the tension, okay? Here we go. Breathe in. Twice more, please. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. All right, let's go. Yes or no? Let's do it. You're gonna learn how to communicate better, how to express your ideas, how to convince people. Remember, you are not alone. We're together. You are never alone. You have no idea how many people admire you. I admire you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Listening and speaking strategies to give you tools to negotiate better. How to give your opinions assertively. How do you communicate yourself in a way that people understand you? How do you convince people? How do you improve your communication? And I'll share with you a video of Chris Voss, the guy who wrote the book I was reading to you. He's here to give us his best advice. Let's watch, understand what he says, and talk about it. Here we go. How to win a negotiation.
My negotiation background really started even before I became an FBI hostage negotiator because I needed to get some training. And that training was really intense, focused listening on a suicide hotline. Really learning about emotional intelligence and what drives people, and then how to navigate that in a way that calms people down, makes people make decisions.
Gunmen burst into the Chase Manhattan Bank in Park Slope this morning, and ever since, negotiators have been trying to get them to give up.
Hostage negotiators used a bullhorn to try and talk to the gunman.
Billy, we're on the same team.
What persuaded the gunman finally to come out?
I think it was excellent hostage negotiating.
People in intense situations aren't changing their patterns. They're still working in the same way that they would under less intense circumstances. They're still making the same decisions. So if you take hostage negotiation skills, which are navigating human emotions, and you put them in the middle of business and personal negotiations, you've actually got a great way to work your way through business negotiations and personal and everyday life negotiations.
All right. Chris is talking about the importance of understanding people's emotions. He's talking about the importance of listening when you were talking to people. And now we're going to watch 3 lessons on the art of negotiation. Let's enjoy and learn with it.
If you think that successful negotiations are successful because of logic or arguments or reason or compromise, you're losing money. You're leaving millions of dollars on the table. And over the course of a lifetime, that could be true for everybody. Tactically, emotional, intelligent negotiation is the way you make great deals and the way you have great long-term relationships. And sometimes they miss that and they think that the problem is the person across the table. And that's why oftentimes people think of it as conflict and actually treat it as conflict. Negotiation is really about what people are making decisions based on what they care about, what's your passions. Every decision you make based on what you care about, which I'm afraid that by definition that makes decision making an emotional process.
He's teaching us that we make decisions based on what we care about. If you are trying to convince someone to make a decision based on what is important to you, you are doing it wrong. We need to deal offering the person we are dealing with benefits that this person sees as benefits. We need to understand the other person's emotions. We need to wear their shoes.
First of all, understanding where the other side's coming from, and especially emotionally, and then being able to feed it back to them in a way that they signal to you that you've got it right. Understand and demonstrate that understanding. There are a lot of negotiators that really will give in on a deal because being understood is more important than getting what they want.
He just said, being understood sometimes is more important than getting what they want. Did you hear it? He's saying, for some people, being heard, being understood is more important than getting what they want. They're open to negotiate the outcome as long as they feel heard and respected and understood. And you know what? It happens to us at home. Sometimes we don't convince our partner to do what we want, but as long as we feel heard and respected and understood, we're fine. Keep this in mind, my friend, when you are dealing with other people.
So once we completely understand where somebody's coming from, then with tactical empathy, we get a much better feel for exactly how they feel about things, how that drives them, and then how we can interact with the things that are driving them. The reasons you won't make a deal are typically more important than the reasons you will make a deal. There's Nobel Prize winning behavioral economics theory that says that people put a value of losses on at least twice what an equivalent gain is. So losing $5 stings at least twice as much as gaining $5. Losing $5 feels like losing $10 or even $35. It's just a ridiculous skewing in our brains over loss. So knowing that fear of loss is probably going to drive someone's decision making more than anything else, tactically, I want to diffuse those fears. I want to get them out of that fear-based thinking, and I want to get them really in a more rational, open frame of mind as quickly as I can, which is why tactically in empathy, I want to address their fears first. Well, labeling is the best way to practice tactical empathy. In its strictest form, it's just saying or writing, it seems like, it sounds like, it looks like, putting a label on the dynamic. And science is showing us now that if we label a negative, it diminishes it. I'll actually say to somebody ahead of time, look, this is going to sound really harsh. And there's a really good chance that when I get done saying what I'm going to say, you're not going to like me at all. And then I'll say what I have to say, and they'll say, wow, that wasn't that bad. So I know I can take a very preemptive approach to negative thinking because I know what a barrier it is to decision making in business.
He's talking about loss aversion. We don't like to lose. You don't like to lose. I don't like to lose. No one likes to lose. So this is something we need to use when we're dealing with people. Because when people feel that they might lose something, that affects them much more related to what they feel they can gain from that decision.
The type of listening I practice it and as I teach it is really kind of beyond active listening all by itself. We even sort of refer to it sometimes as listener's judo, because we're listening very carefully for certain things. We're listening for different aspects of what people care about and what they're against at the same time. People will reveal the negatives very much either between the lines, a little bit of the adjectives, and then also in every positive there's a flip side negative. Every negative there's a flip side positive. If I make it a point of talking about how I'm for integrity, then if you're making it a point to state that, then you've been betrayed in the past. That's been a problem for you in the past. There's a yin and yang to everything. And as soon as you realize that there's a negative to every positive and a positive to every negative, and you're listening for it, you can kind of pick out how you want to guide a discussion, knowing that those are the things that you're looking for. I remember one time I was on the phone with a customer service airlines person. And that's got to be a tough job because those people get yelled at all day long, every day. Nobody calls customer service unless they're unhappy. And this woman was one of those women that she'd been yelled at 50 times during the day. and she was not interested in staying on the phone with me a moment longer than she had to. And I remember when I was off the phone and she had me on hold, I remember saying, you know, I guarantee you this woman right now is thinking, she's saying to her colleagues, you know, this guy's lucky I'm talking to him on a phone at all.
Okay. Now, he's telling this story when he was talking to one woman from an airline company. And he has already told us how this woman is probably feeling. This woman has heard a lot of bad things during her day. And in her point of view, she's doing a favor of listening to these clients. The clients are thinking, well, she's doing her job and she's not actually solving my problem. This woman, blah, 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 blah. This is the client's point of view. But the woman's point of view, this worker, this airline assistant, her point of view is, these clients are so lucky that I am listening to them. And then Chris, who is a master of negotiation, understands her point of view. And he's calling her because he has a problem with his luggage. Let's see how this story ends.
So I was thinking about the negative of that, and then I was thinking about the flip side. Well, in her view, if she thinks I'm lucky to be talking to her on the phone, then the flip side of that is she's actually being generous. In her mind and her world. She came back on the phone and I said to her, you know what? I really appreciate how generous you've been with your time. And I could tell immediately her frame of mind changed. She put me back on hold for about a minute and a half after that. And when she came back on the phone, she'd given me a full refund on my ticket. Most people, if you're nice to them, can help you by doing a little bit if you give them a chance. And if you're just nice to people, it's amazing what they'll do for you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
If you were nice to people, that's amazing the things they'll be open to do. Keep this in mind. Be nice to people. Human beings are very emotional driven. How do you make your decisions? Are you rational? Are you emotional? Plato, the philosopher, used to say that reason is the slave of passion. Do you agree with him? 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Speaking strategies. How do you communicate your ideas better? Right now, I'm gonna share with you some idioms. So then you can sound native when you are talking to people. They will talk to you and they will think, oh my God, do you know these idioms, these expressions? You sound very natural. You are like a native American speaking English. It's nice. Let me share with you. I like to share with you useful, nice things. So then, when you are talking to people, they are impressed by your knowledge. Yeah! Idioms. The most common idioms in English, okay? The most useful. Break the ice. Well, what can we do to break the ice, to start the conversation? You're gonna break the ice. Another one, a piece of cake. Oh, this is a piece of cake. It means this is easy. A piece of cake. easy. Another one. You were telling this story and you want to summarize. You say, well, to make a long story short, I just did this. To make a long story short, it means to summarize. To make a long story short. Another one. A bed of roses. You were talking about a victory you had, but you need to show that you have worked hard. And then you say, yeah, my friend, it's not a bed of roses. I'm speaking English, but I'm studying every day. I'm dedicating my time, my energy, my money, my everything to improve my English. It's not a bed of roses. In Portuguese, we say it's not a sea of roses. In English, a bed of roses. It's not a bed of roses. It means it's not easy. It's not 100% flowers. Another one. No pain, no gain. People use this a lot when they're training. No pain, no gain. If we don't make the effort, we don't get the result. No pain, no gain. What else? Someone is telling you about a hardship, and then you see that the person wants to give up. You say, come on, my friend, hang in there. Hang in there. It means keep going. Don't give up. Hang in there. Hang in there. Don't give up. Keep going. Insist. Persist. Another one. People say, oh, this is not hard. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. When people ask you about your English, oh, you were speaking English very well, you just say, oh, it's not rocket science. I'm learning step by step. It's not rocket science. It's not very complicated. Okay? Now please tell me, what's your favorite from these ones? Choose one of them and invent one example with them. Comment your example here. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. We're talking about how to negotiate, how to express ourselves with clarity, how we can use proverbs, how we can use metaphors, expressions to communicate our ideas well. And I sent a message to this friend. He is an actor. He's an American actor. And I asked him, Sylvester, can you share some ideas with my students about how you communicate yourself? How you organize your ideas to be so good when you're acting? I was expecting a very short answer, maybe something written or an audio message, but no, he went beyond my expectation and he shared with us this video talking about his process And the way he speaks is full of metaphors, full of nice lessons for us. I'm gonna share with you. Enjoy this video.
This is a little insight into how a process works. I don't know about other actors, performers, anyone in the arts, but I find that, and I've done this my whole life, when I spend time away from anything that diverts my energy, even going to a restaurant, I recharge a battery. And nothing is for free. There's always a give and take. It's like, you go to a bank, you get a deposit slip. It's give and take. There's always something. You want to buy something, you have to give cash. There's always an exchange. It's never one way. And I have a big scene coming up tomorrow, big dinner, elaborate thing. A lot of emotions going on. I haven't seen my daughter in 18 years, and my brother just passed away. So it's a lot of sensory recall. That's what they call in acting. For example, when you're doing a scene that you're with virtual strangers, you don't know them, and the director goes, hey, this is your mother or this is your brother, and you've been friends for 30 years and you just met the person. So obviously you can't build a relationship. Can't. Relationships take a long time. Like, I've always believed in a relationship, when everything is fine, you kind of feel like you know somebody. You really don't know anyone until you've been into a fight with them, a serious argument. Then you realize what this person's made of. Are they vindictive? Are they submissive? Are they overly aggressive? Are they compromising? Do they not hold a grudge? You don't know that about a person, which is very important for long relationships, is to know how will this person react under adversity. Anyway, getting back to the scene, that was a real detour. It's like this. I try to pretend that person is someone that I actually do know. So if that person is supposed to be my brother, I pretend I am talking to my brother or talking to a relative or talking to a friend, but using that person just as a body, but my emotions I'm drawing from my past. That's all we can draw on. We can't draw anything from the future because we don't know. Anyway, so to build up the proper mentality that I have, the proper mindset, is I tend to withdraw. I stay alone, completely alone. And I'll, for days sometimes, entire weekend, I don't go out, literally out. Sometimes I even forget to eat. I'm just thinking. And by the time I hit that set, my batteries are completely redlined, charged to the max. And I feel prepared. Whereas a lot of actors, sometimes their process is they don't want to know nothing. They want it all to happen in the moment. Okay, that's their process. I don't buy it. Because acting, if you're really into it, is the art of pretending, to actually take the audience where you want them on an emotional journey. Diction is not my strong suit. On an emotional journey. And to do that, you have to say to yourself, what does this line mean? Is it just conversation, or is there always a subtext? There's something going on. I mean, you could say, I love you 100 different ways, 100 different inflections, and each one has a different intention. So that's what I'm doing this weekend, and I just wanted to pass on that quite often being alone isn't the worst thing in the world. I find it to be a real chance to do self-evaluation, look into your soul a little bit, build up also your confidence. Because a lot of people are afraid to be alone. I understand. Loneliness is a bitch. But it also makes you fortified against what's coming. In other words, you get to know your best friend, which should be you. Ciao.
All right, now let's walk. One of the things that really called my attention was preparation. He told us, you know, when I'm getting ready for a movie, I stay away from distractions. I kind of isolate myself from distractions and I get prepared. I study what I need to present. This is something we need to keep in mind. Life is not a bed of roses, my friend. We need to be prepared. Sometimes you have important conversations. Please write down the topics you want to cover. Please get prepared to have a fruitful conversation. If people don't understand you, what can you do to improve your communication? My dad loves to talk using metaphors. He talks about one story, and it took me years to say, Dad, sorry, but I can't understand you. Are you trying to say something? Oh my goodness. My wife is another example. Sometimes she mentions things that side, but she's trying to show me things from the other side. And I tell her, love, please, can you be more clear? Are you trying to say something? Sorry, I can't get it. You need to be more clear. It's nice to use the metaphors, to use the idioms. And it's also super important to be clear when we communicate yourself. Okay? Do you understand me? Please, if I'm not clear, if my words are not effective, please let me know. Felipe, you explained that topic and I couldn't understand. Can you repeat, please? Can you say that again? Can you use different words so then I can navigate better? Of course I can do it. I'm here to serve you. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Yes, we're finishing one more class. Congratulations. I wish I could give you a hug. Maybe one day when you become forever VIPs, you come here and I hug you and congratulate you. Congratulations. One more class. One more step ahead. Come on, Felipe, it's just one class. Yes, it is. And I'm a believer that small steps take us very distant. Step by step, you get there. Today, you learned how to negotiate better. You learned how to express yourself, how to listen better, how to use idioms to break the ice, to see that life is not a bed of roses. We watched Sylvester Stallone giving us some advice. Had you ever imagined that Stallone would give you precious advice. It's so nice. He talked about preparation. He talked about communication. He talked about relationships. So good, so nice. We also talked about the importance of being clear when we talk. We need to be clear when we communicate with other people. And now I'm going to share with you, before we end this class, I'm going to share with you 3 things that might be blocking your speaking when you were talking in English. Watch this bonus I'm giving you now. 3, 2, 1. 3 coisas que estão travando você na hora de falar inglês. 3 coisas que estão travando o seu speaking. Primeiro, você achar que sua pronúncia não está boa. Para com isso. O importante é você se comunicar. Não importa, eu tenho sotaque de sul-mato-grossense, de sotaque de caipira. É por isso que eu falo errado? Não. O meu sotaque é assim, é porta. É porque. Se eu vou para São Paulo, eu escuto as pessoas dizendo porquê, porta. Se eu vou para o Rio, eu escuto as pessoas dizendo porquê, porta. Se eu vou para o Nordeste, eu escuto as pessoas dizendo porquê, porta. O accent, o sotaque, não importa. E isso está travando o seu speaking. Achar que a sua pronúncia não está boa. Esse é o primeiro ponto. O segundo ponto é que você fala bastante, só que mentalmente. E falar mentalmente não adianta para treinar seu speaking. O falar mentalmente é bom para você ir entendendo melhor as coisas, para você ir fazendo sentido na sua mente. Mas para melhorar o seu speaking, você precisa falar mesmo, não é falar mentalmente, é falar, escutar a sua voz speaking English. E a terceira coisa que está travando o seu speaking, está travando você na hora de falar, é você ser exigente com você mesmo e achar que você só vai falar inglês quando chegar no módulo avançado. Para com isso. Na aula 1 do iniciante, Hello, Hi, eu quero que você escute a sua voz speaking English. Para de pensar que você só vai falar inglês, só vai pronunciar as palavras quando você chegar nos módulos avançados. Para com isso. Quero te ver speaking English now, agora. Agora. What's your name? Fala em voz alta, não é para falar mentalmente. How are you? Ok, thank you very much. I'm Felipe Dib. Adoro quando você fala inglês, quando você escuta a sua voz speaking English. Thank you very much. Yes, English is a piece of cake, my friend. You just need to practice. Speak. Listen to your voice speaking English. If you need to learn faster, we are here to serve you. We are waiting for you, actually. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Dib. See you next class.